อ๋อโอเคสวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับ
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to our weekly Zoom meeting on the Dhamma practice. We have people.
It's ready.
Yes, we have people from many countries joining us every week. Anybody who wishes to join us can come into the room by clicking on the link and turn on your Zoom application. Okay. Looks like Bruce Lee is the first person tonight. Bruce Lee, do you have any question?
Evening, Ajahn. No question, Ajahn, for now. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Kok Seng from Singapore.
Okay, good evening, Ajahn. Yeah. Ajahn, like to clarify this doubt that I have. I think last week, Ajahn, you mentioned about dukkha or suffering as it can be divided as either natural, that means bodily pain as a result of, let's say, sickness from virus or bacteria, or can be due to defilements. So I like to clarify my doubts regarding expectations. So expectations of people. So I just give an example for my case. So as a father, so I have expectation of my own children. So when I ask them to do something and they did not do it, and I have to remind them 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times. So my question is that sometimes so when they did not carry out the instruction as I told them, so I suffer as a result. But on the other hand, if I have no expectation, then I'm not doing my duty as a father to teach my child the right values, the values of responsibilities, values of diligence. And if I cannot, and if I find that, I cannot wait for my child to do what I told him to do, for example, to wash his own bowl, then I will just wash the bowl by myself. Then if that case, then am I doing the right thing and so on? So sometimes in the dilemma, I was thinking that if I have expectation, then I may suffer. Then, or if I have no expectation, then I'm like not doing my duty as a father to impart the right values to my children.
I think you misunderstand what you have to do and the expectation. They are 2 separate things. You have to tell your children what to do. You tell them, but don't expect them to do what you tell them. That's all. See, there's two separate things. They're not the same. Your duty is to teach them, to tell them what to do. But if you don't want to have any dukkha, then you don't expect that they will have to do what you tell them. See what I mean?
Sorry, I think I don't quite get what Ajahn is trying to
I
communicate
said
to
your
me.
duty is to teach your children what to do. But you don't have to expect that they will have to do what you tell them what to do. You tell them and they do it fine. If they don't do it, fine. Your job is to tell them, like the Buddha. His job is to teach us to go to Nibbana. But some of us go to Nibbana and some don't go to Nibbana. And the Buddha didn't feel anything. He said, it's up to you. It's not my job. My job is to tell you how to get there. Whether you get there or not is your business, not mine. Okay, so you have to know how to separate the two things. Know what you have to do, but don't expect that what you tell them, they will do it. They will follow you. Then you will not have any dukkha. You won't feel bad if they don't do it.
So in other words, I can tell them, okay, do this, wash your own bowl after eating. But if they do not do it, I should not have the expectation that they did not do as what I instruct them to do.
That's right. But you also have other tools to use to get them to do what you want them to do, if it is the right thing for them to do. You can cut down their allowance, for instance. Yeah. There are ways that you can make them do what you want them to do. But if you do using all these tools and they still rebel against you, then you just have to kick them out of the house. Yeah. If you don't want to be under my teaching, then you go somewhere else. Like the Buddha, if the monk doesn't follow his teaching, then the Buddha says, "You disrobe. You go to some other place." But if you want to be enrolled, be a monk, then you have to follow what I tell you what to do.
Okay.
No hard feelings, just have the hard facts. Like working in a company, right? You're supposed to perform. If you don't perform, then they say, well, maybe you don't want to work with us, and go find some other place to work. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Don't expect anything from anybody, but do what you have to do. Okay? Then you will never be sorry, you will never be sad or disappointed or frustrated. Okay?
Okay.
Alvin Lee, you're next from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. Tanajan, I came across something quote by Ajahn Chah, right? I'll just speak a bit of it. Part of it is Samadhi is capable, the title of it is on the danger of Samadhi. Samadhi is capable of bringing much harm or much benefit to the meditator. You can't say it brings only one or the other. For one who has no wisdom, it is harmful, but for one who has wisdom, it can bring real benefit. It can lead to insight. That which can be most harmful to the meditator is absorption, samadhi jhana. The samadhi with deep sustained calm. This samadhi brings great peace. Where there is peace, there is happiness. But when there is happiness, the attachment and clinging to that happiness would be arisen. The meditator doesn't want to contemplate anything else. He just wants to indulge in that pleasant feeling. When we have been practicing for a long time, we may become entering this samadhi very quickly. As soon as we start to note our meditation object, the mind enters calm and we don't want to come out to investigate anything. We just get stuck on that happiness. This is the danger to one who is practicing meditation unknowably. We must use upachara samadhi. That's what it says here. Here we enter calm, and then when the mind is sufficiently calm, we come out and look at the outer activity. 5, I don't know what it is. Looking at the outside with a calm mind gives rise to wisdom. This is hard to understand because it is almost like ordinary thinking and imagining. When thinking is there, we may think the mind isn't peaceful, but actually that thinking is taking place within the calm. That is contemplation, but it doesn't disturb the calm. We continue with, we may bring thinking up in order to contemplate it. Here we take up the thinking to investigate it. It is not that we are aimlessly thinking to investigate it. It is not that we are aimlessly thinking or guessing away. It is something that arises from the peaceful mind. This is called awareness within calm and calm within awareness. If it is simply ordinary thinking and imagining, the mind won't be peaceful, it will be disturbed. But I'm not talking about ordinary thinking. This is a feeling that arises from peaceful mind. It is called contemplation. Wisdom is born right here. That's all. Thanks. And then what is the upachara samadhi here?
I don't want to comment on other people's
right.
speech, so I cannot say anything about it, because we can enter into argument with the definition of the word upachara.
Okay, Dhanajan.
So different people have different definition of the word upachara. The upachara samadhi that I heard is the one that has this psychic power, the ability to contact the other spiritual beings, the ability to read the mind of other people, for instance. These are psychic powers that arise from having reached this upachara samadhi.
Okay.
Therefore,
so going back is Dhanajan is more apanya samadhi that we need for the contemplation, right? Once we get up from the meditation, just to once we achieve the apanya samadhi, once we get up from the meditation, we would be able to contemplate, right?
that's right. You should use the two separate practices. Separate them. You don't do them together. If you want to calm your mind, stop thinking, then that's what you do. Calm and stop thinking. Don't do any contemplation. Keep it calm for as long as possible until it withdraws from the state of calm. Then you can contemplate. Maybe that's what he meant. Once you come out of samadhi, once you withdraw from calm, from jhana, then you can contemplate.
Okay.
A mind that has jhana and the mind that doesn't have jhana are two separate things. It's like a person who has sleep well and a person who didn't go to sleep. A person who didn't go to sleep won't have the strength to go to work, while the person who has slept well will have the strength to go to work. See? To fight, to get rid of the defilement, you have to have strength from jhana, which is upekkha, to stop your defilement. If you don't have jhana, you don't have upekkha. No matter how much you contemplate, you will not be able to stop your defilement.
More of a theoretical contemplation, right? Thinking about anicca, anatta, dukkha, not knowing that, not really understanding it, right? If we don't have jhana to contemplate.
No, not that. You might understand. You know that body is temporary, body is gonna die. But if you don't have jhana, you don't have equanimity, you cannot stop your desire not to want to die. You still want to live.
True, yes.
But if you see with wisdom that by having this desire will cause you dukkha, because you will never achieve this desire, the desire not to die. But if you accept the truth that this body has to die, and you have the strength to stop your desire, and say, okay, I'll live until I die, as long as I live. But I won't live any longer than that. If the time for the body to stop breathing, then let it be. Can you do that? If you can do that, then you have jhana, you have equanimity. You can contemplate this thing, but can you do it or not? That's the problem.
Yes.
And you can do this, I guarantee you, if you have jhana, if you have equanimity.
Okay, Ajahn. Okay.
Because you know how to bring the mind back to equanimity right away, as soon as you want to.
Okay. Once you have achieved the jhana, so anytime you want.
Maybe not once, but many, many times until you are proficient in bringing the mind back to equanimity when the time comes, when you need it to remain still, not to react, not to follow your defilement. That's what the purpose of equanimity is to resist your desire. When you want to have a drink, if you don't have equanimity, you probably won't be able to stop your desire to get that drink. But if you have the equanimity and you know that it's harmful for you to drink, then you can stop. See?
Correct.
So you can contemplate, and you know it's dukkha, everything is dukkha, but can you let go of them? Right now, everything that you have is dukkha. Can you live without them? You cannot if you don't have jhana. If you have jhana, you have equanimity, then you can leave everything and you go to live in the forest by yourself. And be happier that way. Have nothing to worry, have nothing to go after. Now, the way you are, you have to fight to get money, to work to get money, and you have to fight to buy things that you want, and you have to fight to protect what you have. It's all dukkha you're dealing with every day, but you don't see it. And if you see it, you still cannot stop it. So there are two things here. First, you have to see that everything that you do, everything that you deal with is dukkha. To you, it's happiness, right? To fight for money, to fight for your whatever, your rights, your freedom, like people running away from Afghanistan. It's all dukkha. It's better if you have jhana, just stay in Afghanistan, stay put in the house. They won't come after you.
Yeah.
If you can meditate, you have jhana, you don't have to do anything that will make yourself attracted by the authority. You know, they won't know you that you even exist.
Yes.
Or you can go out and live in the forest somewhere. You don't have to go away from Afghanistan to seek freedom. You can have freedom right within Afghanistan if you know how to do it. Understand?
Yes.
If you have jhana and you say, "Oh, I have to do it," just go into jhana.
Yes.
Then all my problem will be solved.
Yeah.
Only come out when it's time for me to eat. Once that's done, then I go back into my jhana, going back into my solitude. Don't deal with anybody. Then then it's like as if you don't exist to them because you don't deal with anybody. You get into your room and you just shut the room and you don't meet anybody for the rest of the day until the next day when you have to eat. Then you come out. Because the mind doesn't need anything. Once there is no defilement, once there is equanimity, once there is contentment in the mind, then the mind doesn't need anything. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right. Kenneth from Switzerland. Hi, Professor. Are you back at school now? The university started?
Hello, Dhanajan. We have another 3 weeks before the semester starts, so it's still quiet.
Okay. How was your retreat? Good?
Yes, it was very good. The conditions for practice were perfect. There was no distractions, completely offline. So it was very good.
Good. Do you have any questions today?
Yeah, I would like to ask something about, when I was practicing in those conditions. Well, I found that after maybe about a week, I got to become quite calm, and then the calmness was staying there even outside of the meditation, because basically there were no distractions. But then I found I had a few days where there was things were coming up, very unpleasant memories from a long time in the past started to attack me very, very strongly, and in relation to something that someone did to me who was quite nasty. And when I was reflecting on this, I discovered that it was basically partly to do with a lack of forgiveness on my part. So I start to forgive this person, although I don't have any contact with them anymore. I found in the calm environment, I was able to practice forgiving this person, and I found it released quite a lot of stress on my own mind. Because I think for many years I've been, having thoughts of revenge and getting back at this person. But that seemed to, after a few days where it was actually very hard dealing with the emotions and the feelings that came up, I found quite a release of being able to forgive. So my question is this important factor, or can the lack of forgiveness be a hindrance to the practice? Because I found it very helpful to move on from that.
Yes, because we have to see that the lack of forgiveness is the cause of your dukkha. Because if you don't forgive that person, that person will always be in your mind. And then it will disturb you every time you think of that person. So it's dukkha. Because you want to retaliate, you want to do something to that person, which is desire, craving. The desire to do something is craving. So you have to stop that desire by forgiving that person. So the wisdom here is to see that your inability to forgive is defilement that you have to get rid of. Because as long as you harbor this hatred, this revenge, then your mind will never be free from dukkha in this aspect, in this respect. But once you forgive and say, let's move on, it's already gone, it's the past, and maybe it's a debt you have to pay. Let's think it that way. I pay my debt, so let bygone be bygone.
Yeah.
But you have to see that it's your desire to retaliate against this person. That's the problem, and you have to stop your desire, because it's the cause of dukkha, samudaya.
Yeah, I think what I really noticed when I got deep into the practice, I suddenly saw that it was just harming me very much, hanging on to that.
That's right. The person doesn't know anything about your suffering.
Yeah.
It's you who are suffering from your own desire to do something with that person.
Yeah, and I think I also saw that the reason why it went on for so long was, like, in normal daily life, whenever the memory came up or the feeling would come up, I would get rid of it by doing some other thing that was a distracting strategy, but wasn't very helpful.
It won't get rid of it permanently.
No, no.
You have
it
to
didn't.
tackle the root cause of this problem, and it's your desire,
Yeah.
your cravings, your desire to do something about this person. But once you use wisdom and say, it's anicca, it's already gone. Anicca, it's gone. Anatta, something that happened, something that you could not change. It's like, I always say, like the weather. Once it rains, you cannot stop it or go back to stop the rain. It happened, let it happen. And let's get on with our life and stop your desire to do anything with that person.
Yeah.
Then if you can do this, then you will always have no more problem with anybody. Because anybody can do anything bad to you, harm you, or in any way, you will always let it be.
Yeah.
Because you're the one who's creating the dukkha yourself, not the person who harmed you. The person only could harm you physically, but he could not harm you mentally. If you have the wisdom and the samadhi, the equanimity to stop your mind from retaliating. Just be still and let it happen. It's already happened, it's gone. Why bring it up, But your desire wants to keep bringing it up.
Yeah. So actually, it was just by going very deep into the practice that helped me to see all these things and to actually finally address it and move on and get rid of it.
Yes, but if you cannot use this wisdom, then at least you should use samadhi or mindfulness, a distraction, but still better than leaving it there and causing you dukkha. So if you cannot yet contemplate and see the Four Noble Truths in this thing, then you might use samadhi or mindfulness, just to stop thinking about that person.
Okay.
Or whatever issue that you have problem with. If you cannot use wisdom to let go, then you use mindfulness, such as a mantra, to stop you thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like you say, you use distraction, other form. You might go do something and try to forget what you were thinking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Tanajan, thank you very much.
I think the next time, if anybody do anything to you, you'll probably say, it's anicca dukkha anatta.
I hope so.
Yeah. It's beyond your control. You cannot stop that person.
Yeah.
But you can stop yourself from getting mad, from getting sad, from getting angry. This is what you want to do more. Stop yourself, not stop the other person. The Buddha always say, if you can stop yourself, you win. Yeah. If you try to stop other person, you will never win.
Yeah.
Because you'll create more problem. If you try to retaliate, then that person will want to retaliate back again.
Mm-hmm.
So the Buddha says, stop yourself, conquer yourself, don't conquer other people.
Yeah.
So you can conquer 10,000, 100,000 people, but you will never solve the problem, because there will always be some people who's not happy with your action will come back and retaliate. But if you conquer yourself, the desire to conquer other people, if you can stop this, then nobody will bother you.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, Ajahn, thank you.
Okay. Next, Forrest Tong from Massachusetts.
Hi, Tanajan. I have a couple questions today. So first question, I'm wondering, how can you tell whether you're being too kind and soft-hearted? For example, if someone else is lonely and you want to help them.
You have to use the the word wisdom might seem too common, but you have to use the balance of the person's need and the ability for you to help. First, you look at the need of the person. Then you look at your ability to help that person. Can you help that person 100%? But just for the need. But anything more than that, you don't have to help them.
Mm-hmm.
You help them with the basic things, like the 4 requisites of living. But you don't help them to buy whiskey for them if they want money to go and buy whiskey.
Uh-huh.
To go gamble or something, or to pay their debt, gambling debt, something like this. You don't help them in that regard. You let them pay their due, the consequence of their bad actions. But you help them basically with the basic requisite of life, like food, clothing, shelter, and medicine. And just enough to get them up and going. Once they can stand on their own, then you stop. You don't help them forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's helpful. And then the other question I was going to ask is, so I've been using the 32 parts of the body to help to overcome lusts. And yesterday I also did a little bit of mindfulness of death, but I'm still a little confused for what defilements should I be using mindfulness of death? Is it mostly for laziness? Yeah.
How to contemplate death, or how to use death contemplation?
When to do it?
When to do it?
Which defilements to
Well,
use?
normally you want to constantly remind yourself that life is temporary and it can end any time. This is a general contemplation. Just to remind you not to forget death.
Okay.
So you don't get consumed by everything that's going on around you. Because if you always reminded that you're gonna die, then everything that seems so bad around you, happening around you, don't seem so bad at all.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can use it when your mind becomes too over-consumed by things around you. So
Okay.
tell yourself, well, the worst that can happen to you is death, and it's gonna happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
So this is what you use death contemplation for.
Okay.
But sometimes you have to do this before you are consumed by things around you. So you try to do it maybe as soon as you wake up in the morning before you do anything. Remind yourself that death is waiting for you and it can come anytime, anywhere.
Okay.
Then you can go on with your whatever you do. And you'll see that whatever you do don't seem so important anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the end, you're gonna end up losing everything that you get anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So I get so consumed by your work, your whatever you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday, I also found that it helped me to forget the past because I kept worrying about the past. But then if I'm going to die, then there's no point in worrying about the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question?
No, that's it. But I'm going to go to a monastery for the next month, so I probably won't be on the call for a while. But thank you for your teaching answers.
It's okay. You're welcome. You can join anytime you like. You can leave anytime you like. There's no contract here.
Okay. Thank you, Chandran.
Okay. If nobody attends, then I can just shut down the meeting and go to bed. Next, Willie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Thanachan. I don't have any questions today. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Adeline and Philip.
Good evening, Tanajan. I don't have any questions tonight, just listening in.
Okay. Gary from Singapore. Gary?
Good evening, Tanajan. I do not have any questions right now. Thank you.
Okay. Nandapat from Bangkok.
Yes, Tanajan, no question right now. I just listening ค่ะ Thank you
Okay.
for teaching ค่ะ
Genso from Penang.
Now I just listening ค่ะ
Tanajan, good evening. No question. Yeah, nice to meet all of you.
Okay. Belinda from Singapore.
Tanajan, also no questions listening in.
Okay. B. Ravin Chinnapan from Bangkok.
Good evening to you, Tanajan. I have a question regarding my meditation practice. So I've noticed that on some occasions where I'm able to achieve some sort of calm, once my mind withdraws from the meditation, I feel very empty, but I feel really calm. And I don't have any negative or positive thoughts. But I did some self-reflection and I found that this is temporary. After a while, when I start to think about other things, defilements come back again, and it's like a loop. And when I want to have calm, I have to go back into meditation again. So my question is, how can I sustain this in the longer term? Do I need to meditate more often, or do I need to do some sort of contemplation?
Well, you have to continue on with your mindfulness practice after you come out. You still want to refrain from thinking about things that you don't have to think about. And should this thought become so strong, especially with desire, then you have to use contemplation. If you start having this desire for sex, for instance, then you have to contemplate on the asubha. When you have this sexual desire coming up, then you have to think of the 32 parts of the body, the corpse, the body that one day will turn into corpse, a corpse, for instance. Then if you can do that, then your desire will subside. And if you can do this every time, then eventually it will never come up in the end. Then it will not disturb your calm. Your calm is disturbed by your desire or by your thoughts. But the thought with desire is much more stronger than the thought without any desire. So you want to keep your thought to the minimum. And if your desire comes up with the thought, then you have to use wisdom, anicca, dukkha, anatta, or asubha, depending on the case of your desire, which one it is. Then you can maintain calm after you come out of samadhi. That's the goal. See, first you want to push the mind into calm, and then you want to keep it there by either using mindfulness when you come out of samadhi, or use wisdom when your desire comes up. When you're angry, for instance, when the thought of anger comes up, you will have to use forgiveness to get rid of your anger, or go to the root of your anger. The root cause of your anger is your desire. You want something from that person and he's not delivering it to you, and you get angry at that person. Then you just change your attitude, change your desire. Okay, I don't want anything from that person. Then you won't get angry next time, because you don't expect anything from that person. So there are several ways of controlling your mind to be calm when you're not meditating. Either use mindfulness if you don't know how to use wisdom yet. When you feel that your mind becomes agitated, just keep reciting mantra, mutto, mutto, mutto. If you can use wisdom, if you worry about something, and worry about the future, then say the future that's waiting for you for sure is there. So why you should worry about anything? You might worry about whether you're gonna lose your job or not, whether you're gonna lose your family or whatever. But if you think eventually you're gonna die and you're gonna lose everything anyway, so why worry, right? So these are the methods you can use to maintain calm after you come out of samadhi. If you don't know how to use anicca, dukkha, anatta yet, then use mantra to stop your mind from thinking about that subject, that particular thing.
Yeah, I find it's easier when I'm in samadhi because sometimes when I'm meditating and thoughts start to appear, I'm able to suppress them. But if I'm in a normal situation, I find it harder. So maybe I need to develop more mindfulness.
You're no longer mindful like when you were in samadhi. You are bombarded by information, by objects, sensual objects, either coming to your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, or body, and you automatically react to them with desire, with attraction or with aversion. But if you have strong mindfulness, as soon as you come out, you continue watching your mind. Keep watching your mind. Stop your mind from reacting. As soon as your mind starts to react, then you have to stop it right away.
Okay, so after I come out, just keep maintaining the mindfulness. Don't completely just jump into something else. Just try and stay in the present, stay in the moment.
Yeah, just stop thinking and only say only when you have to. Like when you meet someone and they say hello to you, then you think, what should I do? Okay, I should say hello back. Yeah, something. But then don't do more than what you need to do. But sometimes
I do realize
we do more than what we need to do, and you start to create issues. People will react back to you when you say something that will cause them to react, and they will react, and then you will react back and forth, and you start to your mind start to become agitated and restless. Try to reduce your reaction down to a minimum, only what you have to react to. But if you don't have to react to, just smile and just go on your way. Don't try to interact with people. The more you interact, the more issues you will raise.
because other people are outside influence that we cannot control.
That's right. But if they force you to react, then you use wisdom. Use anicca, dukkha, anatta, or use compassion, or use loving kindness. Do react to what they need, but not more than what they need.
Yes, I realize that the mind can easily be fooled by defilements because when I'm calm and not thinking, that is true happiness. But then when defilements come in, it tricks the mind to think that, oh, this is good, think, it's fun to analyze, to.
They have to use anicca, dukkha, anatta. It's good, but it's good temporarily. All right, so you get the answer.
Yes, I understand.
How to continue on to maintain your calm after you come out of samadhi. You have to learn to you have to know to continue on using mindfulness and know how to use wisdom to deal with each individual instance or issues. If you don't know, just use mindfulness and not react. I just
Yes,
say
Tanajan.
sorry. I don't know the answer. If you ask me something, okay. All right.
Yes, thank you very much, Tanajan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, Ramwala, you wanna have any comment? Any question?
Good evening ค่ะพระอาจารย์ the question that in the past I used to invite from my boss to join the dinner, and he also served the wine to me and the attendee as well. But in that time I'm take the 5 precepts. I just try to talk to him that I take the 5 precepts, and he said, "Come on, just like try a little bit." And after that, I just like don't want him to lose face and just like pretend to be drink, but the liquid of the wine just like only touch to my lip. The question is that is good or not good, อาจารย์
Well, it's up to you. See, if you want to keep the precept, then you just don't drink.
It mean that we after that party I also talk and update to my boss that I am very seriously, and after that he will not try me to drink wine anymore. But I just that on that time it is a karma, right?
Well, if you drink, you drink. Yeah, if it's get into your mouth, then you're drinking it, right?
But not like drink, but just like attached to the lip ค่ะ
Yeah, you still drink.
Okay, that I will aware on it.
Yeah.
Okay ค่ะ That's it ค่ะพระอาจารย์ Thank you ค่ะ
Okay, because if you do that, then people say you drink, and next time they will invite you to drink more. See? So if you don't drink at all, then people know that you don't drink, then they won't invite you to drink anymore.
Yeah, that's why right now they also know that I take like upper level. Some day say that someday I very serious that I take 8 precepts, and that's why the friend at the work they also like understand my practice as well.
Okay.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
All right. Vignesh from India.
Good evening, Ajahn. Hello.
Yes, can hear you well.
Yeah.
Any question?
Yeah, today I have no question.
No question. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Sri in Czech from Vancouver.
Good evening,
Hello,
Ajahn.
Tanajan.
Any question?
I don't have any questions today.
No question. Well,
No question.
yeah, brilliant talk, Ajahn.
All right, good. Then go to Anuraji from New Zealand. Anura.
Hey, good evening, Tanajan. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, just have one question, Tanajan. The term Kanti, the patience, doesn't appear in as a Brahmavihara, one of the Brahmavihara. Is it because the patience of Kanti is part of the meditation practice?
Well, Kanti is part of Ubeka, really. If you have Ubeka, then you have Kanti. See?
Right.
A person who is Ubeka doesn't react. So when he doesn't react, he has patience, right? There's people who react, that is impatient.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it comes together, and sometimes we separate them. So in the Brahma Vihara, I thought the Buddha didn't say it's important to use Kanti, so he just used the Ubeka,
Okay.
which might cover a wider range than Kanti.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Tanajan. Thank you.
Johanna, where are you from?
Good evening, Ajahn. This is my first time joining your Zoom meeting. I'm from Indonesia.
Okay, you have any question?
Yes, I have one question about the 8 precept. Ajahn, if I want to take the 8 precept, but during my working day, but I have to eat after 12 o'clock. Maybe I can finish the meal after 5 or 10 minutes. Is it still okay?
Yeah, it's okay. But it's good if you can stick to the rule. But if you cannot, and you still want to keep this precept, you can extend it for an hour if you like. You know, like you switch your clock from daily saving time to standard time.
Yes, I just started take the 8 precept this month. I take 4 days in a month during Uposatha day. But when it falls not on Sunday, then on my working days, then I have to eat at 12. So I wonder if it's okay for the practice, Ajahn.
See, normally the 8 precept is for those who's not working, who go to a meditation retreat. So if you're working, then it can interfere with your working hour. So but if you still want to eat it, keep the 8 precept. You can compromise it a little bit. You know, turn your clock back 1 hour on the day that you keep the 8 precepts. So in the time people stop eating, your clock will still say 11 o'clock. Then you're keeping the precepts. But it's not really the time that matters here. It's the amount of food that you eat, the sequence, the what you call the frequency of eating. You want to reduce this frequency of eating from eating 3 meals a day to 2 meals a day or 1 meal a day. So that's more important there, not the time itself. You know. So I would worry about it if you eat past the 12 o'clock of 15 minutes or 20 minutes, it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, because I feel the difference before and after I took the 8 precept. I just feel my body feel better and my feeling feels happier. So I want to, if I can, I want to continue doing this.
Yes, you can. It's good if you can give the 8 precept, even though you might have to extend the time a little bit past midday. You know.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. You're welcome. Next, Monica from Cindy.
Good evening, Tanajan. How are you?
Do you have any question?
Yes. Recently, I tried this when there was pain in the body. I do scanning of the body, and I find that it's quite effective to remain calm. Is this part of Vipassana, or is it still a part of getting into a samadhi?
What do you mean by scanning your body?
Scanning means just focusing on the pain on a certain part of the body, that's all.
And it helps your mind to become calm?
Yes.
Okay, then it's mindfulness. Use mindfulness to calm your mind.
Okay. So is this part of getting the mind before we go into samadhi, or is it part of a vipassana?
Well, if you do it and you get into samadhi, then you get there. If you don't get there, you don't get there.
Oh, okay.
I cannot tell you because you have to do it yourself and find out for yourself.
Okay.
Does it get you into samadhi?
So this is not part of vipassana, is it, or contemplation?
No. Vipassana, you have to see it as anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Tajan.
All right. Next, Akash Ketan. Where are you from?
Namaskar, Prajan. This is my first time on the Zoom meeting, and I'm living in Bangkok for 2 years, but right now I'm in Mumbai in India visiting my family. And I want to ask you, can you give me any suggestions on dealing with boredom and laziness?
Boredom and laziness. Well, laziness, you have to replace it with diligence. You have to force yourself to do things. Don't just sit idle, not doing anything. Maybe you can set up a schedule to force yourself to do things. At this hour, I should be walking meditation. At this hour, I should be sitting meditation. At this hour, I should be listening to Dhammatalk. Something like that. You have to set up a schedule and then force yourself to stick to the schedule. Then you can overcome your laziness. As far as boredom is concerned, you have to meditate. The best way to deal with boredom is to meditate. Because when you become calm, your mind will then have no boredom. Your mind will become peaceful and happy. Boredom arises from your desire to have things different. You want to have different things. And when you cannot have them, then you get bored. You have to do the same thing again and again. So you have to overcome your desire and your desire to do different things, to have different things. And just tell yourself that they are all the same. New thing or old thing, they are all the same. They are sensual objects that you see, you hear, and they are all the same. Once you have it for a while, you become used to it, then it no longer gives you the pleasure, so you become bored. So the best way is not to rely on this thing to get rid of your boredom, to give you pleasure. The best way to give you pleasure is to meditate, to sit and watch your breath. And if your mind can become calm, then your boredom will disappear. Okay? Can you hear me, Akash? I think you're
Thank you.
English, please. So I'll go to Lilian then. Okay, Lilian from Bangkok.
Ajahn, no questions tonight.
Okay. Then I go to Asoka. Asoka iPhone.
Yeah. Ajahn, I listened to your the talk when I just finished the Ajahn Kalyano's the weekly the meditation talk in Australia.
Yes.
Yeah, even and then he mentioned about you. His name is Ajahn Kalyano.
I heard of him, but I never met him personally.
Yeah, and then the Ajahn Brahm is here. I go to his temple as well. Ajahn Brahm also. And then the my question is, I had a I lost my son 4 years ago. It's a sudden not the accident, it's a sudden death because he had a brain aneurysm. Then the Ajahn Brahmans also came for the hospital and then the funeral. And then I got another child after 1 year time. Then I got I think he was reincarnated. Yeah. And then but still I have that memory in my mind, but I do practice the meditation for a long time, but still it's in my mind. How can I deal?
You mean the thoughts of your son?
Yeah.
Well, you can replace it by reciting a mantra such as Putto, Putto. Every time you think of your son, then just replace it with Butto, Butto, Butto until it goes away. If you keep reciting Butto, Butto, then the thought about your son cannot come into your mind.
Okay.
Or you can use wisdom and tell yourself that your son is already gone, he won't come back, you know. Sanija, anatta. To think about your son and longing for your son will be dukkha for you.
Okay. 2019, I went to Ajahn Ganha temple as well. I was there around about 7 days. Ajahn Ganha.
Ganha, yes.
Yeah. I went there 2019 December, just before the COVID.
I see. Where are you from, by the way?
I born in Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
Then I moved to Australia 2011.
I see.
Yeah, and then I need the blessing as well. I'm going to change my job as well. New job. I'm going to start in next month, mid-September.
Okay. Hope you well. Hope you succeed in your new job. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Next, Vivi from Indonesia.
Namo Buddhaya, Ajahn. Can Ajahn hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Yeah, Ajahn, I have a question. When meditate, should I just pay attention to the tip of nose or pay attention to the knowing? Because now it appears the new something that beside Anapanasati, I also have to pay attention to the knowing. Is that true, Ajahn? Or just the defilement
Don't worry about the knowing. The knowing is the one who knows the breath. So once you're watching the breath, the knowing will be there with you. So you don't have to watch the knowing. Just watch the breath.
Just watch the breath. Because this morning I pay attention to the knowing and I fall to sleep, Ajahn.
Okay.
And as usual, when the pain comes, I see it. Just see it. The body hurts, the mind don't hurt. But when the pain get more intense, I start to deceive by saying to the mind, don't complain, don't grumble. This is not pain. This is just the Vedana. But the longer, the more intense, I give up, Ajahn. How can I be stronger to hold on?
Well, you have to have samadhi first. And the way to have samadhi is to focus on your breath and don't worry about your pain. Just keep watching your breath.
So I must get in samadhi before the pain arises.
No, not that. If the pain arises, you can still focus on your breath. Don't focus on your pain.
Like forget the pain, yeah.
Yeah, right. Forget about the pain. If you're focused, then if you're concentrated with your breath, your mind can become concentrated and has some amount of equanimity to resist the pain.
Okay, I understand.
Okay.
I think now I don't have problem now because everything is fine by itself, Ajahn. Is this the one of the benefit from meditation? Because a problem arises, I just find a way by not hurting my mind and the another mind. I mean, another people's mind. And if the problem cannot be solved, I just let it go. Then the problem is solved by itself. Is that correct?
That's right. Everything will solve in themselves because everything's gonna end sooner or later, right?
Yeah.
This COVID-19 is gonna end sooner or later.
So
all the people die. Once all the people in the world die, the COVID-19 will also die. So everything will solve by themselves if you don't do anything.
Yeah, so we don't have to kepo. All right. Okay, Ajahn. Thank you.
Next, Sajal Kha from Silver Spring, Maryland. Sajal. Can you unmute your microphone? Sajal, can you hear me? I think you're not hearing me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Ajahn. I have no questions today. I'm just kind of going through the dukkha and the sad and sorrow that the Dhamma tells us about, and I'm seeing it actually firsthand again quite intensely. And but I think I'm trying to use your teaching to be mindful, and whenever I'm actually mindful, the stress is less. But whenever it's not there, that time it comes kind of really charging, and trying to go best that I can.
Reduce your expectation, reduce your desire.
And even for that, I need to be kind of be mindful, aware, be in the moment. Yeah. When I'm able to pull back, then there is a peace and calm and comfort. But otherwise, the anxiety kind of builds up. And as you are answering to other people's questions, is that it comes out of expectations. I'm expecting the things to be different, which is good or bad is actually completely outside my control. But my mindfulness is not there to see that. When I see it, that time I'm able to pull back, and at least I can deal with the situation and things actually in a much better way when I'm kind of removed. So these are like that I see.
So mindfulness is very important. Not to be mindful at all times. I cannot hear you, Sajal, I think.
I have no questions.
Okay.
John, thank you very much.
And then we go to the next person. Rata, she just get off. So I go to Paisan first. Rata is back. Okay, Rata, your turn. Where are you from?
I'm from Chiang Mai, ka.
Okay. You have any question?
Okay, this is actually my first time here. So my question, I started studying like Dhamma not so long ago, and meditation a while back. So my question is, what do you recommend like for a beginner, like when you are just starting?
Well, meditation, or you want to practice the three practices that the Buddha teaches us to do, which is one is charity, second is morality, keeping the precept, third meditation, mind development. These three practices can go together. You can share some of your wealth to those who are in need.
Yes.
Okay. Whenever it is suitable for you to do so. This is charity. Don't hoard the money. Because one day you're gonna die and you're gonna lose every money that you keep anyway. So only better to give it to charity, because it will lighten your heart, lighten your mind. You'll feel easy, and also lessen your greed for money. Because you know that you only need the money just to survive, really. Anything more than that is useless to you. It's more harmful to you. So this is what charity will do for you. It will make you happy every time you do charity. Rather than go buy a new bag or buy a new pair of shoes. The kind of happiness you get from charity is better.
And then so the next question is,
keep the 5 precepts or the 8 precepts if you can.
Yes, I'm already maintaining the 5 precepts.
Okay.
Doing meditation, but I also have like a lot of doubt, meaning sometimes I ask myself like, what is the purpose of working? Like if you have enough money already, then shouldn't you just quit your job and, do something else?
Yes, that's what you should do. You should meditate. You should follow the Buddha's teaching.
Okay.
So once you can keep the precept, then you can practice meditation. Before you can sit and meditate effectively, you need to have mindfulness first. So you want to train yourself in mindfulness. From the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, try to control your thoughts, not to let your mind go away to the past or to the future. Keep it in the present. Keep it with the body. Force it to watch what the body is doing at every moment. Or you can use a mantra such as Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. You want to lessen your thought. Don't think aimlessly. Don't fantasize. Don't. Only think when you have to. If you don't need to, then you should stop it by using the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto, or by focus on what you are doing at the moment. Once you can do this, then you can meditate. You can sit down. When you sit down, then you can watch your breath at the tip of your nose, coming in and going out. If you just stay at that point, your thought will become steadily less and less, and eventually your mind will become still. Then you have samadhi, you have peace and happiness, which is better than any type of happiness that you used to have before. Once you get to this point, then you will be addicted. You will not want any other type of happiness. You want just to meditate. Every time you want to be happy, you just go and meditate. So this is basically what you should try to do for a beginner.
Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Any other question?
If I'm at work, like, can I also? It's more difficult to maintain mindfulness when you
just concentrate on your work. Concentrate on your work. Don't go think about other things when you're working. Okay. Is that all? Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. ค่ะ Thank you ค่ะ
All right. Then let me go to Paisan. Paisan, where are you from? Kun Paisan. You have to unmute your microphone. No, there's a button on the screen that says unmute microphone. Okay, you can speak now.
สวัสดีครับพระอาจารย์
Okay.
This is just my first time just to observe, and the one just like you is my daughter.
Rata?
Rata, yes.
I see, okay.
Yes, I live in Phuket and she lives in Chiang Mai.
I see. And you live in Bangkok?
Yes. So just กราบพระอาจารย์ครับ
Okay.
That's all.
Nice
Thank
to see you. Next, Alfredo from Brazil. Alfredo, you're next.
Hi, Bante.
How are you? Good?
I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, Ubeka.
Yes, very, very peka. Chita no pasana.
Okay.
I love the life of meditation. Is different life, but is very good it's very good to all things. Other people's not us, but it's normal.
Yes.
But the state of anagami is a difficult state.
Not so difficult, just like any other state. Yeah.
Is possible anagami without upachara samadhi?
No, you don't need upachara samadhi for any level of enlightenment.
Yes. Yes.
You need appana samadhi for every level of enlightenment, but not upachara samadhi.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Nice talking to you. Next, Sulan from Singapore.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn, for spending time with us again. Yeah, I have a few questions.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, my first question is that when I'm about to sleep, then I see like a cockroach that's crawling near me. Then I feel very scared. Then I don't dare to sleep. Yeah. So I actually don't understand why like the cockroach is so scary when it's actually so small, but yet humans are so scared of it. Like what is the reason behind it?
Because you are brainwashed to think that the cockroach. If you think that of the cockroach as your food, then you won't be afraid of it. You know, there are people who eat cockroaches. There are people who eat insects. Yeah, they fry them. They say, "Oh, very crunchy, very good." So this is one way to get rid of your fear: is think of it as your food. You know, you can eat it. It cannot eat you. You can eat the cockroach. So why should you be afraid of it?
Yeah, that's true. But I see the cockroach is scared of me. It went to find somewhere to hide.
That's right. So why should you be afraid of it? Use reason. You're not using reason. You use delusion to guide you. See?
Yeah, it's quite silly. Then I actually, because I don't dare to sleep, then I just sit on the chair, like until it's almost daylight, and then I'm like so tired.
Next time, just think if it comes near you, grab it and put it in your mouth.
that is killing, right? Yeah. Then like.
I catch a cockroach every night in my room.
Oh, then what do you do with it?
I throw it out in the window.
Oh, but then when you catch it, wouldn't it like get smashed?
Well, no, you catch it gently. You don't smash it. You catch it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So actually last night I also see a lot of insects, not just cockroach. There's like ants also. Yeah, because I cooked Milo. Then after that I left a cup of Milo on the table. Then after a few hours, there's so many ants that drowned in the Milo.
Yeah. That's because you're lazy. You're not mindful.
Yeah.
You should when you finish drinking, you should wash your cup right away, and there won't be any problem.
Yeah. I feel quite bad. Like this is called killing, right? I indirectly killed a lot of ants.
Yeah, because of your laziness.
Yeah. Then what should I do? Because like the ants already drowned.
Well, just throw it outside the house on the ground. If it dies, it already dies. It's not your fault.
Oh, okay. Anything that I can do to make up to it?
Just try not to be lazy next time.
Okay. Yeah.
When you finish drinking, wash your cup. Whatever you do, try to keep your place clean. Then you won't have much problem with ants.
Yeah. Okay. Then the cockroach, I just tell them, please don't come near me.
Ask them to come. If they come close, just catch it. They won't bite you. They won't hurt you.
Oh, okay.
Catch it and then just throw it out the window.
I try, but I can't promise.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah. I still have question. So I think, yeah, I'm just curious, like, why some people they are able to speak very well, then whereas like some people they cannot speak that well. So how how can we actually improve in like communicating?
Well, everything needs learning. See, if you want to improve something, you have to learn to do things more to improve it.
Oh, okay.
If you don't know how to do it yourself, then you have to seek advice from those who knows how to do it.
And it's something that's worthy to do, right?
Well, the only something worthy to do is to meditate. Really, everything else is not worthy to do, except for providing yourself with the necessity of life. Everything else is useless.
Okay.
Better learn how to meditate better than learn other things.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Then yeah, I have another question.
Okay.
How about I remember the last time you said about like Pacheka Buddha, like they get enlightened when there is no Buddha around, and they without like following the practices of the Buddha, then or the teachings of the Buddha. So, but then in their previous lifetimes, could they have already practiced? It's just that in that lifetime when they become Pacheka Buddha, just so happens that at that point in time they gain enlightenment without the teachings of the Buddha around.
So what is your question?
Like, is it possible that Pacheka Buddha, before they gain enlightenment, actually in the previous lifetime, they are already following the teachings of the Buddha?
Maybe because you have so many lifetimes, and maybe one of your lifetime you might come across the teaching of the Buddha. But if you didn't become enlightened, then this teaching can be forgotten in your mind, from your mind. So when you need it, you cannot use it anymore. So you have to find the knowledge yourself.
So it's possible that if let's say
like you right now, you come across the teaching of the Buddha, but you haven't got enlightened and you die. And then the next time you reborn, there's no Buddha around to teach you. No Dhamma Asanga. Then you have to teach yourself. And if you're lucky, if you teach the right knowledge, then you can become enlightened yourself. Like the Buddha, our Buddha, in his previous life, he might have met or followed some of the teachings of the previous Buddhas. But he didn't get to the stage where this knowledge can be not forgotten.
Oh, okay.
The knowledge will not be forgotten if you become a Sotapanna. Once you become a Sotapanna, the knowledge of the Four Noble Truths will always be in your mind. But right now, the knowledge of the Four Noble Truths that you learn is not in your mind yet. And you can forget it when you die.
Yeah. Oh, that's very dangerous. Yeah. That means like a person could be if they really ordain, then after that they still haven't attained Sotapanna. Then the next lifetime they can just forget, and then they lead maybe a wrong livelihood or like.
Yes, you can forget the knowledge that you learn by memory, but you won't forget the knowledge that you learn by practice.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Good enough.
Yeah.
Next, Uma.
Thank you.
Uma.
Yeah, Jan.
Haven't seen you for a while. Uma, can you hear?
Namo Buddhaya, Ajanji.
Where are you from? India?
I'm from India, yes.
Okay. Any question from you?
Questions, how can we determine for any large goal like being any Agrishavak or Buddha? During meditation, using our sensations, we can have a strong determination to achieve any goals like that.
Can you repeat your question again?
How to have a strong determination to achieve to a Agrishavak, to be a Agrishavak like Moglan or Sariputta or any top 80s
Or you have to first study the teaching of the Buddha. See? Once you have learned the teaching, then it can inspire you. Then you can have determination to follow his teaching. So you should study a lot of the Buddha's teaching until you become inspired to do the teaching.
Actually, I'm studying Samyutta Nikaya currently, and I have studied Sutta Pitaka. I'm practicing Vipassana from last 10 years.
And you're still not inspired. Then you might want to study the teaching of the disciples, the living disciples, or the recently passed away disciples, like Ajahn Man or his disciple. They might give you more, a better understanding of the Buddha's teaching because they are more recent than the teaching of the Buddha, which is quite distant now, 2,500 years ago. It's still true, but it might in a different. It might not. Some of the translation of the word might be not quite appropriate, maybe. So it might, instead of giving you the right understanding, you might miss the point. So maybe it's better if you can to study from a life enlightened person.
Currently, no known enlightened person in India I know. Actually, I am planning to go to Sri Lanka after 3-4 years for getting ordained for permanent.
Well, you have to keep inquiring, searching, because I don't know myself. So I cannot recommend you anybody.
Okay. Firstly, I planned for Myanmar, but current situation of Myanmar is not good. So then I shifted to Sri Lanka. My plan shifted to for Sri Lanka. I have planned for getting ordained permanently after 3 years.
Yes, you have to try it to find out for yourself. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Is that all the question from you?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I think everybody has answered their question. Those who are in the room and turn on the video. Is anybody else who is in the room and hasn't turned on the video and who would like to ask questions? If there is, please turn on your video and then you can unmute the microphone. Pavitra, you want to ask a question?
Yes, good. I want to ask question, Prajan.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sorry. I'm from Thailand, Ratchaburi province.
Okay.
I want to ask one question that if one day I want to ordain, but I'm a woman, but I want to ordain as a nun, but how about money? Nun must have money to spend their living, right?
Not every nun. There are some nun monastery in which you can go live and practice, and you don't need to have money. Or even some temples or monastery in which you can live without having to spend money. You just have to search for it. You have to look for it.
Okay, because nun cannot like
Go on
get some
Bindabad.
food. Yeah, go on Bindabad.
But sometimes they have supporters who give donation to the monastery, and they use that money to cook, to pay for food and cooking instead of going on Bindabad.
Okay.
So I think if you search around, you'll find that there'll be places where you can live and practice without having to have money.
Okay, thank you very much. I have like follow you for like a couple of years, and I have visit you one time. Visit Prajan.
All right, good to see you again. I hope you find what you're looking for. You have to look around, ask people.
I am now like working. I have a job now, but I just think that if one day I want to ordain like a monk as a nun, I need some support.
That's right.
So,
but you can also have some money of your own just in case. Sometimes you can use it to supplement your need. Like sometimes you might get sick or you might need some medicine for some personal use, in which the monastery might not be able to provide for you. But the basic things like food and shelter, I think a monastery can help you, provide you with that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ajahn.
Okay. You're welcome. All right. Anybody else who's in the room, and just turn on the, okay, Punadama, where are you from?
Good evening, Achan. This is my first time to join here in live Zoom. I'm from Indonesia.
Do you have any question?
I have one question, Achan. I have a daughter, and then there are some people that say that my daughter has a sixth sense, and then I confuse how to give her a guidance in Buddhism to keep on track with Buddhists. Please give me advice to guide my daughter to keep on track with Buddhism.
Well, if you have some sixth senses, you just consider it to be a special gift. That's all. You don't need have to worry about anything. What you need to guide her is the path of morality and charity and meditation. This is the main path of Buddhism. By having any extrasensory perception, this is considered to be an additional gift. Then you can use it or you don't have to use it. So you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Teach her to be charitable, to be generous. Teach her to be not hurting other people, like not killing, not stealing, and not lying. And teach her how to do chanting first. This is the easy way of meditation, is to do chanting. Chanting Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
Achan.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Achan.
All right. I think that's about all for those who are in the room. So let me go to question from Facebook now. Punla, you have any questions from Facebook tonight?
Yes, there are two questions from Facebook, Thanajan, and both of them are from Poland soon. The first question is, can we practice Vipassana without Samatha? Thank you.
Well, Vipassana is a separate practice from Samatha. You can practice Vipassana with or without Samatha, but you will not succeed if you don't have Samatha to support your Vipassana practice, because you won't have Upekkha, the ability to remain still, which is the thing that you can use against your defilements. Every time you want to buy a new dress and you use Vipassana, you say, what for? And you find no reason for buying it, then you don't buy it. See? But if you don't have Upekkha, then you cannot stop anyway. You still want to buy it because it's pretty, because it makes you happy. But it's a temporary happiness. It's a fake kind of happiness. So when with Samatha, when you see that you don't need this new dress, then you don't buy it. That's all. If you have Upekkha, then you can stop your desire. Without your Upekkha, you cannot stop, because if you don't buy it, you're gonna die. You make you feel like you're gonna die without getting what you want. You feel tormented by your desire, and that torment will only disappear after you bought the dress. Okay, next question.
And the next question is, can Ajahn explain the way to practice Vipassana? Thank you.
To see that everything is temporary, nothing lasts, nothing in this world lasts. And the happiness you get from them also don't last, because eventually they're gonna change and they're gonna disappear. When that happens, then sadness comes into place. So this is Vipassana. To see that everything is changing, not lasting, not permanent, and everything cannot be under your control. You cannot make them permanent. You cannot stop them from changing. If you have any desire to want them to be permanent or to be under your control, then you will get dukkha. You will get suffering. Okay, is that all?
Yes, that's all, Ajahn.
All right. Now is the time for a second round of questions from anybody, anyone of you in the room. If you have any questions, just raise your hand and unmute your microphone.
Melinda.
Melinda, okay.
Jan, I have a question about aura color. But aura. So when
They're just sensual objects. They are anicca, dukkha, anatta. Anything with them. Don't go after them. If they come, just merely be aware of them. That's all. If you don't react to them, they won't hurt you. If you react with attraction or aversion, then that can hurt you. Hurt your mind.
But is it true that we have like at least 7 colors in our body? Is it true?
I don't know. It's not necessary to know this thing. It has nothing to do with anicca, dukkha, anatta.
There is colors, and it is quite usual or quite frequent. Sometimes I see.
Okay, just treat them as an essential object. Just treat them as an essential object that is impermanent, come and go, and then you cannot control their coming or going. That's all. That's all you have to do. All right.
So the mind just not to attach any preconceived idea of what the colors meanings and all.
Don't have any aversion or attraction. Just be merely knowing.
Okay.
Okay.
Gok
Seng next from Singapore.
Yeah, can I like to clarify when I meditate mindfulness of the breath, and whenever I feel any itch on my body, whether it the ears, the arm, or anywhere, I can just ignore the itch, and then after a while the itch will go away. And however, when there is a pain in the knees, sometimes I will try to ignore it, just like the itchiness of a certain part of the body, but sometimes the pain on the leg is a bit too difficult to bear, and I have to change from left leg over right leg, and change the other way around. So my question is, do I persevere to so-called endure the pain in my knees, or do I find that it is too much to bear? I just change my knees, the knee posture from left to right to left.
Well, if you move your body, then you restart your meditation again. You're going back to zero. If you want to continue on your path into jhana, then you just have to sit and ignore the pain and keep focusing on your breath or on the mantra until your mind becomes calmer. Then the pain will not bother you.
In other words, I just
continue on meditating. Okay.
The pain. Okay.
I think your connection is not so good. Your voice come and go.
Hello. Yeah. Ajahn can hear. So yeah. So in other words, I will just bear with the pain.
Just leave the pain alone. Ignore the pain and continue on with your meditation. You might have to switch from watching your breath to a mantra, because a mantra can be stronger than watching your breath. It can bring you stronger mindfulness. You don't have to use Buddha. You don't have to use Buddha. You can use Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. You can use Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Something to keep your mind occupied, so it doesn't disturb by the pain. And eventually your mind will become calm, and then the pain will not bother the mind. Then you can coexist with the pain that way. But if you move your body, then you're restarting your meditation, because you move your mind back to the body. So it's like going back to the starting point. But if you don't move your body, then you're still at that point where you might be a lot closer to jhana already.
Try it out. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Anybody else? Any question?
Evie.
Evie? Okay.
Yeah, Ajahn. Can Ajahn hear me now?
Yes.
Ajahn, regarding the explanation by Ajahn earlier about Sotapanna, that automatically the teaching of Buddha, the Fourth Noble Truth, will continue to follow the Sotapanna even after death. And if not Sotapanna, then our knowledge will be forgotten when the body dies. My question is how to make Buddha teaching stay with our mind even though we have less body. And it is just through meditation way and not another way to keep the Buddha teaching always on our mind.
You have to become a Sotapanna. You have to see the Four Noble Truths in real time. Right now you don't see the Four Noble Truths in real time.
And the way is only by meditation, not another way again, Ajahn.
Well, meditation can be in two things. It means samatha and vipassana. So when you're talking about the Four Noble Truths, you're talking about vipassana more than samadhi.
Hello.
But you need samadhi to be able to see vipassana.
And when I meditate, sometimes if there will arise a knowledge when I meditate, it is also temporary or permanent?
Well, you have to ask yourself, is it permanent or temporary?
I still remember until now, but I don't know if I have died.
Then don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
If you don't know, you don't know. I cannot tell you. I cannot guarantee you. You're the one who has to guarantee yourself.
Yeah, because sometimes I meditate, it pops up the knowledge, but I don't know if this knowledge appear. But the knowledge
if you don't know, it's probably you're gonna forget it. Because if the real knowledge you know, you'll never forget it. Because it's something like somebody slapped you in the face, you will never forget, right?
Yeah.
And you forgive that person right away. Then this is the Four Noble Truth.
So
somebody slap you in the face, you have dukkha. So you might want to retaliate. Then you have wisdom to say, no, this is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Let it go. When you let it go, stop your retaliation. Then this will be in your mind forever.
So I must find people slap my face
you
have
to experience dukkha in real time.
Okay, Ajahn. And my another question is, last week I donated to groceries to the orphanage. As usual, the orphan always line up and sing to say thank you to the donators. I think it's like playing them because we are arranged to seem to want to be respected by them. And I always don't want them to sing for me, just accept the groceries and just be happy. But now I start asking because I just put stuff and go, and I don't feel any happiness with this dana. Do I need them? They should sing for me, and I feel happy, and I can send merit to the creatures.
No, you shouldn't expect anything from them. You just give just to make them happy. But if they want to say thank you or they want to show their appreciation, it's their business.
It's not important I am happy or not. The most important is they happy, all right?
Right, because when you see they're happy, you will become happy.
Okay, Ajahn. But I feel flat. No reaction, Ajahn.
Because you don't see that they're happy from what you do. See?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. So it's okay. No reaction, no happy feeling. Just give and go, just like that.
Because you don't know how to think. See? You think if they don't get this thing from you, they can starve. See? And you know what starving is like. Having something is like. You can think, and then you make you happy. Without what you give them, it can be painful for them. But when you give them, you help alleviate the pain. See?
Yeah. So I must learn to be happy when I give it.
You have to know what you do. See? What benefit you give to the people that you give. So when you see the benefit, then you can feel happy.
Yeah. The benefit is just, I think, yeah.
If they don't have any food and you give them food, how would they feel? They will feel happy, right?
They will happy, yeah, just right.
Okay. Or you can think of yourself if you're hungry and you have no food, then suddenly somebody came up and give you some food. How would you feel? You would feel happy, right?
Yeah. So with this mind, with this good thoughts, good mind, we share have merit, yeah, actually.
Then you can share this happiness with the spiritual beings.
Okay, Ajahn, I understand. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Will, can you hear me? From England?
Yes, thank you. Pleased to see you again, Bhante. So I'd like to know whether it's possible to be separated from the path through Papa Karma, and if so, can one overcome Papa Karma and return to the path?
Using the Parakarma, the Bhutto mantra?
I just wonder whether one can be separated from the Marga through Papa Karma, and whether one can return to the path if one has been separated from it.
When you say separated, it means you're not following the path.
Yes.
So you not practice, then you can be separated.
Yes.
And when you return to the practice, then you return to the path again.
Yes.
So it's just a matter of whether you do or you don't do. If you don't do, then you'll be separated from the path. If you do, then you'll be on the path. If you keep meditating, then you'll be on the path. If you stop meditating, then you're outside of the path.
Yes.
You'll be separated from the path.
Can one be permanently separated from the path?
Nothing is permanent in this sense. You can always come back, or you can always leave.
Yes.
It depends on how you feel at that time. Sometimes you get bored with the path, you leave the path. Then after a while, you miss the path and you want to come back to the path again. Okay. The goal is not to get bored with the path. The goal is to stick to the path till the end. That's what you want to do.
Yes, Bhante. Thank you.
This needs determination and resolution and effort. You have to use this thing to keep you in the path.
I just wonder if the Dhamma if you can be expelled from the path, so one can't return.
No, you can always return if you have the inspiration.
Yes.
Now you might feel uninspired, so you leave the path, and then you might run into a noble disciple and listen to his Dhammatalk or talking to him, and you can become inspired again and return back to the path again.
Thank you very much, Bhante.
So it's good always to be close to a noble disciple, an enlightened person, because they will inspire you to stick to the path.
Yes.
Okay. Is that all?
That's all. Thank you, Bhante.
All right. Next, Uma again. Uma, you have a question?
Ajahn, my question is, during practice Anapana, what is more important? Is observing natural breath or having continuous observation of the touch of the breath?
Again, please ask again.
What is more important during Anapana practice? Observation of natural breath, because during more concentrated state, breathe become very fast and very small. So you cannot observe clear observation of the touch of the breath. So what is more important? It's the observation of natural breath, because to observe the breath, sometimes
you just follow the breath, whether it's short or whether it's long. Don't do anything. Don't manage the breath. Just keep watching.
Okay, keep watching the natural breath.
Yeah, just keep watching the breath. Whether it's gonna be long or short, leave it alone. Don't try to manage it. Just know it for what it is.
But during short breath, observation is not clear. In that state, what should be done?
Just keep watching at the tip of your nose. Sometimes it might be clear, sometimes it's not. But don't go away from the tip of the nose.
Okay, and it should not be unnatural breath to have clear observation.
Yes, you should leave the breath naturally. Don't force it to be breathing long or breathing short. Just let it breathe naturally.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. You're welcome. Vignesh, VK. Unmute your microphone.
Oh, okay. Yes, Ajahn. If let's say we speak harsh speak to someone or hurt someone, is that we breaking the precept, or even if they made any wrong to us, or they any argument, then if we speak very harsh or very like angry speaking, is that my fault or how?
Yes, if you speak with animosity, with anger, then it's considered to be bad speech. Okay, but if you speak with metta, with kindness, you want to teach the person, but sometimes you have to speak harshly for the person to get the message, then it's okay.
Okay, but if even they speak to us very harsh or angry, then we just leave it.
Leave alone. Don't react to them.
Just don't react to them. Or
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else would like to ask question?
Alvin.
Okay, Sri.
Okay.
Let's Sri first. Alvin already asked his first question. Sri, go ahead. Okay. Somebody have to unmute your microphone. Ask to unmute. Okay.
My question is Sabe Sankara Anichang Sabe Dhamma Anatati. The Dhamma, I just want to clarify that it's including the 6 element, right? That you're talking. Like, Dhamma is
Dhamma means everything, both Sankara and non-Sankara. Sankara are formations, while the six element, they are non-Sankara. They are not formation. They are what they are. They're not formed by anything. Like water is not formed by anything. Earth is not formed by anything. But our body is formation of the 4 elements, 5 elements. So when he talks about anicca, he only meant formation. Because whatever is formed will be deformed one day, right? But whatever is not formed, it will never be deformed. So when you talk about things that has no self, that is everything has no self. Anatta. Everything are natural phenomena. The idea of a self is come from the mental delusion, the delusion of the mind, not having knowledge, not having the wisdom to see that everything is natural phenomena. So the Buddha cannot say sabbe sankhara anatta because that will not cover the 6 elements.
Oh,
They
that's
have to
good.
use sabbe dhamma. Dhamma includes everything.
Oh, yeah. Right.
All right.
Right. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you.
Okay. Check. Sri, you have any question?
So far no, but I just realized one thing, like when Buddha say about conceiving is a poison. So meanings like our mind like to pick up something, think about it. That's
By
the thought.
thinking and then create this conspiracy theory to everything you think are all conspiracy theory because you haven't proved them yet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to Alvin. Okay, Alvin, your turn.
My understanding is the knower is your mind, right? So if I know my mind is agitated, who knows? What is the knower there? If
the mind knows that it is agitated.
so
when you want to make something simple difficult, the mind knows itself. It knows that it is agitated. Sometimes it doesn't know if it doesn't have mindfulness. Sometimes it causes other people. When the mind is not happy, it doesn't cause. It doesn't accuse itself. It accuses other people for making it unhappy. Because of you, I'm not happy. But in fact, you're not happy because you're not happy, not because of them. You're not happy because you don't get what you expect from that person, so you're not happy with them.
Okay, thanks.
So it's all your fault. Your unhappiness is your fault. Nobody else's fault. Don't blame other people for your unhappiness. Blame yourself for expecting too much, or for expecting anything from anybody or anything. Okay?
Okay, thanks, Dr.
All right. Anybody else? We almost run out of time now. 3 minutes left.
Question from Facebook. 2 questions.
Okay, Facebook. Go ahead.
Two more questions from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์. First question from Hai Yu Yen. When you said you need ubekha from samatha to support vipassana, you mean the 4th jhana, right, Ajahn?
Yes, the 4th jhana has ubekha. The other 3 doesn't have ubekha.
And next question from Porn Pet. Good evening, Pante. Thank you very much for your teaching. How can I forgive my own meditation teacher? I feel angry when I think of him. He doesn't understand my life conditions and trouble in life. He gave advice that doesn't suit me. I tried very hard to follow in the beginning, but later I realized that I had too much faith without wisdom. He is a very good venerable, but I respect him very much, but feel angry with him very often. Thank you.
That's because you expected something from him that you cannot get, so you get angry at him. So you should stop your expectation. Don't expect anything from him, then you won't get angry at him. All right.
And one more question just come,ท่านอาจารย์, from Batan. Can Ajahn please help me explain and advise why my 5 hindrances still appear spontaneously very strong from my novel mind. When facing some customer, even I had read Dhamma text and understand about all, but still attached to 5 aggregate from non-self to self. Also know what is 12 dependence origination, and also practice meditation. Thank you.
Because you're not practicing successfully, that's why. So you need to practice successfully. You have to have real mindfulness. You have to have real wisdom. Then you can get rid of these hindrances. Okay.
And Ajahn, one more question just come.
Okay.
From Silva A. Dear Ajahn, if we don't have money to help the one who is in need of money, feeling guilty about this situation is good or bad, Ajahn?
Feeling bad is good. It's bad for you. So you should stop feeling bad by accepting that you cannot do anything about it. There are things that you can do, and there are things that you cannot do. So don't try to do things that you cannot do, because it will make you feel guilty when you cannot do it. Okay?
That's all, Ajahn.
All right, I think I will have to thank you everybody for coming in tonight to listening and discuss the Dhamma teaching with us together. I hope you have benefited something from this meeting tonight and will help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please continue on practicing and be safe and be happy. Be mindful. I will see you again next time if nothing prevents us from meeting. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุค่ะ
สาธุค่ะ
everyone.
Thank you.
Jasmine ขอบคุณคุณลาครับ
Thank you everyone.
Thank you